Okay, this install is going to be on a Nissan 300ZX twin turbo. This is a 92 model. I'm kind of in the middle of redoing a bunch of stuff, so ignore that nut. I know that's not right. ABS line, stuff like that. Just kind of overlook it. This video is for the install of the 18Z 6-pot caliper found on the Porsche Cayenne V8 models with the 18-inch wheels, with the originally equipped with the 350mm rotors. Also found on the Audi Q7 and the Volkswagen Touareg. I don't even know how I'm saying that. The information is in the file for the year, model, and chassis that you can find these calipers. We'll be fitting them over the 370Z Sport Spec rotors, 355mm by 32mm. This is the Z1 two-piece. The hardware you're going to need to complete this install: to bolt the adapter to the wheel hub, you're going to need 4 10.9 class 12mm bolts by 50mm long. You also need the stainless steel lock washer 18-8, stainless steel flat washer 18-8, and a stainless steel lock nut. Same thread pitch as the bolt. These are 1.5 thread pitch. You'll need 4 total, 2 per bracket, to bolt to the hub. And then to bolt the caliper to the adapter, you'll need 10.9 class 14mm by 50mm long bolts. These are also 1.5 thread pitch. And also you'll need the stainless steel flat washer, stainless steel lock washer, and a stainless steel lock nut. I don't have lock nuts. These are just regular nuts, mocking up and test fitting and stuff like that. I just so happen to have some 12mm lock nuts, so you'll be able to see how they look at that length. Tools you're going to need: you'll need a 19mm wrench and socket. You'll need a 22mm socket and wrench. I don't have a 22mm wrench, so I'm using the 7/8. It'll work. And then you'll also need a torque wrench to torque everything to spec. Torque specs will be in the file on the group. Also, you'll need the StopTech 950.63004. I think that's right. I'll put a picture of them in the video. That'll be it. No grind mod on these. It'll bolt right up. We're going to get right into it. I've already got some stuff done here. I've been in the process of redoing everything. So you'll need to remove your wheel and then take your factory caliper loose from the 2 mount bolts that would be located here and here. And then once you get your caliper off, disconnect your hard line, or your brake line from your hard line. I've already got mine installed here, so skipped a few steps. But once you get your caliper off and you remove your factory brake lines and then remove your rotor, you'll pretty much be here. Once you get your stock stuff off, you can go ahead and install your stainless steel line. It's a little easier to get to with all this stuff off and out of your way. I put a little piece of tape over my banjo to keep any trash from getting in there. Once you get here, we're going to install the adapter first. It doesn't matter which way you face the bolts. If you put the bolt head on this side or if you put the bolt head on this side, doesn't matter. What does matter is your orientation of your hardware. The lock washer to the bolt head side, and you want to put the flat washer to the lock nut side. When looking at the adapter, this will be the top. So we're going to go ahead and install the adapter. Okay, I chose to put the bolt head to the outboard side, and as you can see, my lock washer is to the bolt head, my flat washer is to the nut side. Just line the top bolt up, slide it through, put your nut on, line the second one up, slide it through, put your washer and nut on. And now I'm going to tighten that down. And I'll be using the 19mm socket and wrench for this. Once you get them tightened down, you can see at 50mm the bolt just comes through. You get plenty of Teflon contact. Torque specs again are in the file. That's both. If you're the type that likes to have 1 or 2 threads showing past the nut, again, these aren't regular nuts. If you had regular nuts on there, right here where the rounded part is, you'd see threads. You could go to a 55 millimeter, next step longer. But due to the like turning geometry, I keep things short as possible. Okay, so now once you have the adapter bolted to the hub, the next step is to put the rotor on the and secure it with some temporary nuts. Keep it straight. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the rotor on. I got washers on mine to keep the nuts from digging into my aluminum hats, but they don't have to be super tight. Just snub it down so the rotor's nice and flush and held straight. And then the next step is going to be to put the caliper over the rotor and line it up with the adapter mount holes. Okay, I'm just holding the caliper in place right now because I wanted to show you how it needs to go. The caliper is going to go to the outside of the adapter bracket. You're going to have to put the bolt head to have as least amount on the back side for your turning radius, your lock to lock. You want to put the bolt head and washer on this side rather than the nut with a thread or two hanging out and a flat washer. That's going to be longer than just the bolt head and a lock washer. So we're going to put the bolt end this way running outward, and you'll put your lock washer and nut on from the inside. There's enough room in there to get your fingers in there to get everything started. Once you get your bolt through, there's, like I said, plenty of room up top to get some fingers in there. Put your washer on, get your nut started, and you can see if this was a lock nut, you'd have maybe 1.5 threads sticking out, where right now we're about 2.5. The same amount of room you have up here to get in and work, you have down there at the bottom to get in. Once you get everything lined up and started, you can get a wrench on the inside, get your socket to the back side, get everything tightened down good and snug, and then you can torque it with your torque wrench to the head. Torque specs again in the files. Install your stainless steel line back here. Here we are, full lock to the left. Got it bolted up here with the tab, you can see. Nice and smooth, clears everything. And then over here, got plenty of slack. Although it looks like it's pulled all the way tight, it's not. It's not. It's got plenty of loose slack. So now I'll turn it full lock the other way so you can see how it looks that way. Alright, now we're full lock the other way. You can see that as I turned it, and I didn't mess with the line, I can't hold the camera and turn this by hand, but you can see it folds nicely up there. If you wanted to zip tie it, you know, loosely right there at the bottom of your shock, I've shaved all my brake brackets on my extension arm. You know, you can't see those there. Just route it to your liking. But that's it. Good pad coverage. You actually get really good pad coverage. On the front, you can see it actually extends past a little bit from the face sweep, but that solid rotor doesn't really get into the hat. You can see where the hat's at there. To the outside edge, you can see the pad is even flush with the rotor. You can kind of see it there. But as you come up, it sweeps away. You can see the pad on that side. But as you come down to the center, it's flush. Yeah, you get a little overhang here at the bottom and here at the top, but right there in the center, you're dead on. See right there. Now on the back side, what you're overhanging here, anyhow, that's from getting the rotor as close as possible to reduce overall diameter for smaller wheels or wheels that aren't big brake friendly. Anyhow, it's about as much as that crosses that line. Measurements be on the group: overall rotational clearance, distance from rotor hat face to caliper hat face, all that. That way people can calculate their wheels or whatnot, if they'll clear or not. But that's it. That's the install.